My name is Pamela Herron, and I've been a Bikram teacher since spring of 2006. So, this is probably like 12 years ago when I started doing yoga. Probably even longer than that I started, but I was doing Ashtanga, and I'd been hearing a little bit about Bikram here and there, and one of the places that I worked, this girl did it in the 70s. This woman, I guess I would say. And so she always talked about it as this really intense process, this really intense class, and the heat, and I love hot. So I thought, okay, and it was always sort of in the back of my mind. 6 or 7 years ago, I had this physical thing going on with myself, which the doctors still have, to this day, didn't know what was going on with me. But it was having to do with my circulation, and they didn't know the cause of it or what it was or what it was called. And I remembered my friend saying, there's this yoga that's done in the heat, and I thought, okay. And I love yoga. I had loved yoga at the time after years of doing all different sorts of physical things and dancing. I just thought, okay, I got to get into the hot room. I just knew, my instincts were like, you have to get into that hot room, and if anything, it'll help your circulation. So I started doing it, and I literally left my first class with my jaw like on my heels, going, I think I'm going to teach this. It took a lot of like me going through, like I would be the last person to go into the class because I didn't want to get changed in front of anybody. I would be the last person to leave. I had horrible petechial hemorrhaging on my legs, which were like blood spatters on my legs that was underneath the skin. So it was like this horrible thing, and I was ashamed. I was wearing like big baggy t-shirts and baggy pants, and like I'd be in like a 105-degree room, completely hiding my body. I would say that problem started going away for no reason other than I was moving, and I had gone through all these different processes trying to get healed through natural ways, through doctors, anything, and nothing really worked except for the Bikram. So I moved my practice into the city when I moved into the city, and I knew I was going to teach it, and I just didn't know how I was going to get it together to teach. And I started wearing shorts and little tops, and then I got to this one point where the studio owner where I was practicing at the time, I was like, my stomach isn't changing. I wanted to have this tighter stomach, and she was like, well, if you can't see it, you might not be able to fix it. So it was another time where I was like, okay, less is more, less clothes, more change, you know. And then I finally got it together thanks to my sister to go to training, and that was one of the most life-changing things that I've gone through. I mean, I think any teacher you ask will say that it's quite profound. Bikram is a very magical and wild person. His personality and who he is and what you go through with all the people and the community that it is really amazing. So I stopped dancing when I was in my teens, and then I went back to it after working with this amazing person in San Francisco. And he basically said, your body is fine, it just didn't develop properly, so you have imbalance in the joints and the strength that you have. And so this is well before yoga. So I started dancing in my 20s again. I came to New York, and I didn't dance. I didn't think I would. I'm an actress also, and so I was mostly focusing on that. So after teacher training, I'd never been in better shape than I just wanted to start dancing again. It's a passion that I've had my whole life. It's something that I've always dreamed of doing. So it ended up that there was a woman that went to one of the studios that I teach at that was teaching Buto. And I met her, and I thought, well, this is weird. I guess I'm just going to go to one of her classes. And I immediately started dancing with her company, and it's been over 4 years now. And I dance full-time with Evangeline Theater. That's the company name, along with teaching full-time, and it's pretty amazing. I teach between 8 and 10 classes of Bikram, and I dance. I have rehearsals between 2 to 4 times a week, I would say. And I just stopped bartending. I also work with natural health companies, so I worked with all natural, like supplementing, and it's all going back to nature and going back to the beginnings. And like I do what I do in the room every single day with my body to putting that nutritionally also into my body. So I feel like I'm sort of starting with the Bikram. I started balancing. I mean, I was quite the partier before I started doing Bikram yoga, and just by being in that room, I just made choices that were better for me, and it just keeps going more and more. There's always a better choice that you can make, and I don't know, it's been such a gift, and the people at the studios are, you know, it's such a beautiful exchange of give and receive to teach, and I don't know, I think we all help each other, you know. Yes, I'm 40 years old and proud of every year I've lived. And I got engaged right before my 40th birthday. August 3rd was my birthday. So yeah, and it's just going to get better. I feel like since I started doing yoga, I get younger every year. So it just gets better. I couldn't be doing the things that I'm doing now if I didn't have this. I wouldn't be dancing at 40 if I didn't have Bikram yoga. I would, you know, it's all creating this beautiful symmetry, and it's like escalating into this, I don't know, it changes your life. You know, it changes your life.